Hi, Christine. How are you?
Hello, how are you? I'm good.
Wonderful. Thanks for taking this time to interview. So, Christine, can you share a bit about your background and your career, first of all?
Yes, I've been a massage therapist for 30 years.
Okay.
I met Ming Wu 9 years ago. And so the practice changed a little bit. It was into Swedish massage, deep tissue massage, sports massage. I loved it. I did very good. And then when I met Ming, I learned all new things that I could do. The Tui Na, that's like the big portion of my business is the
Oh,
Tui
wow.
Na.
So
Yes.
you were,
And
yeah, so you were already in the holistic field before meeting Dr. Wu. Yeah,
I was for
that's wonderful. And so how did you actually meet Dr. Wu?
So a friend took me to him. He had helped her with a serious health condition
Mm.
and said, "You need to try him." And she told me how much money it was. And I said, "I'm not going." And she said, "Yes, you are. And you're going to love him." And I did. And it was so worth it. And that was the varicose veins.
Oh,
I
okay.
him with the problem. She said you had to pick a problem. Excuse me. And I said varicose veins. I told them I've had them for years. They've stripped them. They keep
Mhm.
injecting me with a saline solution, which hurts. They keep coming back. They stick out. They're ugly. I'm tired because of it. And
Oh,
he said,
wow.
"What?" And I went to myself, "Oh no, this is going to hurt." And so he did the Gua Sha for an hour, and it hurt for a few minutes, and then it got better. Then it was like numb. The endorphins are kicking in, and they looked better and I felt better. And
Mhm.
he said, "You do every day for 30 days for 1 hour and they will be gone." And I thought, I don't know about that, but
Yeah,
I'm going to try.
right.
And I did, and they were gone.
That's incredible. Can you share a bit about what Gua Sha is, first of all?
Yes. I'm thinking, do I have a tool
Oh,
here? I
a
probably do.
demo. That would be even better.
Yes. Let me grab
Okay,
one of my tools. So he sells some really nice tools that I have at my office. I don't have here at home.
it's okay.
But this is one of his teacups.
Okay,
This is
yeah.
a wonderful thing. You can use the side of a spoon. You can use what else I'm thinking. I learned on a with what's it,
The
a
pink.
Snapple bottle top.
Oh, really?
Yes, that's what I learned on. Or a quarter. They say I don't like the quarter too much. The quarter I think hurts a little bit. But anything with
Yeah,
something like that.
with an edge. Yeah.
Hmm. A little oil. You can
Okay.
use olive oil, coconut oil, organic if you have it. Massage oil. Cream doesn't work. You can do it without, but more careful. So I can show you on the arm. So what I
Sure.
learned is the if I get stuffed up and you can't breathe or you have a headache. So the meridians are on the arm that come up here for all the head, nose, throat. So I put the oil on and then you go like from here down
Got
and it
it.
feels good. And this will open up everything in the head. So the Gua Sha is one of my favorite things. If I'm sick, the first thing
Yeah.
I'll do is my neck and then down
Thing.
to the armpit. Here, it goes out. And you can do it for beauty to get rid of
Yeah.
wrinkles as a whole.
Yeah, I know some women that do that already.
Yeah, it works.
Yes.
Cupping, cupping for the face or the Gua Sha is very good.
Oh,
My face
interesting.
looks really good except for one wrinkle I'm working on here.
Oh, wow. So Christine, when you're doing the gua sha on the different meridian lines, I mean, do you have to know where the meridian lines in order to do gua sha?
Nope, you
Okay.
don't have to know much. The main thing you need to know is a little oil and to for the arms and legs go away from the heart. And
Away
you
from the
really
heart.
cannot screw anything up. It'll get red and it'll hurt a little bit and it'll itch, and that's okay. Gua means scrape, sha means red. So if you get the
Oh,
red coming up, that's a good thing. You continue. And
is
you're supposed to do it a long time, but even if you do a short time, it'll help. If you get that red up, then you're something's happening.
so if the is the red blood or what is it that's happening underneath?
stagnant blood. It lifts
Oh, wow.
stagnant blood. So you'll get some on the varicose veins, or you get some marks. And on the back, there's a video Ming has that I videoed once on Gua Sha. It was
Yeah.
like for an hour. One of his other students, Randy, and he did the back for an hour, and it
Oh,
was
yeah.
blood red.
Oh,
It,
wow.
the first sign of sickness, the first sign of you don't feel good, you gua sha. So that's why I do myself a little. But if you have somebody to put oil on your back and do the back, you start at the top and go down and kind of fan out. You really can't screw up too much with the back, but you do like long, deep strokes. And as long as you're working on that red and it feels good, you can do the whole body. I've done the whole body, but the varicose veins were on my legs. So I did that every day. And as it's pulling the stagnant blood out, it looks black and blue. People would be, whoa, what's
Right.
wrong with
Yeah,
your
yeah. I was
leg?
going to ask you about that. So don't be frightened if it's dark and black and blue because that's toxins coming out or
Yes.
oh, wow. Yeah.
Yes. And if you go on YouTube, you can look it up and you'll see pictures and pictures and pictures of the marks. And on my Facebook page, I have pictures of the marks too.
Oh, wow.
So people have an idea. I'll say to them, now, if you have some marks, is that okay? And you need to explain. I'll take a picture and show them. I'll say, does this hurt? Does this hurt? No, no, no. Okay.
Oh,
I'm going to take a
wow.
picture. I show them and they go, oh my God. So they know, and then they can tell their husband or their wife, this is just Gua Sha. She did not
Right.
hurt me.
Yeah. No
I
one beat
feel
you
so
up.
much better.
Yeah. So, Christine, can you share a bit more of that process when you did the gua sha on your varicose veins? Like you said, to scrape away from the heart. Why away from the heart? How long do you do it? And kind of share what is happening when you're on the varicose vein scraping and for how long?
Okay. So Ming always seems to say an hour, but if you can do anything, I think it's good. So I would do 30 minutes on each leg. Both legs, on the lower legs, I had like big tubes veins sticking
Yeah,
out. It
yeah,
was kind of ugly. And
yeah.
it was uncomfortable, but it was more ugly to me. And I had tried to heal it so many times. So just scraping. So if this was your knee and this is your ankle, I go from the top to the bottom. And I believe you're telling the body where to remind it, get rid of it. And you're pushing it out the toes, right over the bones, just right over. You're saying, leave the body. And you do it for an hour and it's pulling the stagnant blood out. And I do it all around. I do the vein, but I do all around. And then while you're doing that, you're doing all the meridians. You don't have to know them. So there's 6 on the legs, 6 on the arm. So whatever you're doing, wherever you're working your body, there's
You're
points and there's
restoring.
meridians.
Right. So it sounds like so you're still while you're doing the gua sha, you're restoring, rejuvenating your body at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. And when you're doing the gua sha, Christine, you know how on the varicose veins it's really puffy and it's ugly and it's all, crumbled up. There's no injury done to it when you're scraping on top of that?
No. So when Ming did it to me for the first time, I promised myself Western medicine had failed me. I was a sickly kid. I had a lot of things happen, a lot of bad stories. So I just said, I'm going to trust this man. I trust my friend. I'm going to trust this man. He does gua sha. He's going pretty hard in the opposite direction, pretty deep. And
Yeah.
in my mind, I remember a teacher saying, if you touch the vein in the wrong direction, in the wrong pressure, you can give them a blood clot and kill them. So
I've
I'm laying on the
heard
table
that.
saying, I would trust him, but I don't want to die. So I lift up my head and said, I'm not going to get a blood clot, right? And he stops, he comes up, and he says, you're also brainwashed. And then he comes back and he continues on
Oh my
the
God.
gua sha on the leg. That's right. I
Wow.
fell in love with him as a teacher, family, friend. I've been with him nonstop and all his students for 9 years because there was like a light bulb that went off. Like, you're going to follow this man. He is going to teach you. Take a picture of this moment. And I knew he knew a lot of stuff that is backwards to what we believe.
Oh, I so want to talk about this because I heard the exact same thing, Christine, is that from massage therapists, if you do too much, it was going to cause that blood clot that you're talking about. So the fact that Dr. Wu said you've all been brainwashed, I wonder like how much more are we brainwashed, right? So I would love to hear more about what else you've learned in your practice of TCM because you're also a TCM practitioner today, right? And
Yes.
can you kind of share? I'm curious to know what is like a common denominator that you see amongst your patients and your experiences of how people see TCM? Like, are they frightened or what's the similar common denominator that you see?
When he did that first treatment on me, and he did a little Tui Na, and I kept asking questions because I want to learn, what are you
Yeah,
doing? And, he was doing something very different, closer to the spine, the Tui Na. So I left and I went to work. And what I always do, all my clients know anything she learns, she's going to do. So I started doing it. And whatever the problem was, headaches, pain, some neuropathy, and big problems, not just a little stuff I was taking care of, it would be gone, not for a day or a week or a month, sometimes for good. And I got to be careful with some of the stuff I say, but it is mind blowing, these things. And just copying him and doing to my patients, they would get better. And then people say, well, they leave. Well, then they send their brothers, their sisters, their cousins, their mothers, their best friends, their coworkers. So people just keep coming and you make them feel better. You teach them what to do, how to eat, go out in the sun, relax, do Tai Chi, Qigong. It's a lifestyle. So that's what I teach now. So he taught me. I just would ask the questions. I took the class, then I would text him and I'd ask, what do you do for this point and that point? And then I would do it. And he was very patient. And I did that for years.
right.
And it's amazing. Tui Na is my favorite. All these things are wonderful. Like moxa, right now is the time of the year to do moxa, the big moxa. If you don't want to be sick in the winter,
Right.
today's one of the days.
Right.
And it's just mind blowing to me. Even today, I do it every day. And it's just so wonderful. It's so wonderful for the people that want to listen. There's many that are like, okay, whatever, some people are afraid. Some people are, I think the way I try to approach it is to give people hope. Like, yes, you're told this, but just for a minute, think about this and just do a couple things. It's overwhelming if I tell you 100 things, but let me tell you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things that you want to change and see how you feel. And then they'll come back a week later, a month later, whatever. And oh my gosh, I look at me. I feel good. I'm not
Yeah.
in pain. So
So,
yeah, it's good.
yeah. So would you say the common denominator is that they've been successful? I mean,
Yes.
it's all worked, right? All the treatments that the different patients have received is the fact that it's working, it's helping people, even though they may be a little doubtful in the beginning. So common denominators, it works.
It works. It's
Yeah,
very, very successful. So
that's
my business
yeah.
has gone from when I met him, I worked for chiropractors.
Oh, you
Now
did?
I'm on my
Okay.
own. Yep, I'm on my own and business is booming. And when I left the last chiropractor, how business goes is I say I'm leaving. He said, today's your last day. So there was no internet and Facebook and all that, or I wasn't on it. I don't know if it was there or not, but so I had to start from scratch and I did. And I was with Ming and I was working on the people. So I got a whole new clientele. And I just did this wonderful practice on people. And I'm so busy now. I was booking out 6 months, but then I have no life. So now I'm just
Oh,
booking out a
wow.
couple.
That's awesome. 6 months out. That's incredible. So you see a demand in all of this.
Yeah, my door is I got a waiting list. They're begging. Some are crying, you know,
Yeah, I
just
know.
for the lockdown. Yes. Yes. And in this area, people want to they're getting healthier. People's minds are opening. Before they were a little more closed a few years ago, COVID, people think things got worse. In some aspects, they got better. They're sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I'll try your silly Qigong or your Tui Na or going barefoot outside or drinking water or meditating, and they're seeing results.
Yeah, that makes total sense. So you sense that people are getting to a point where they're somewhat desperate because they're trying all these different options in Western medicine, and it's happening for years on medication. Nothing's working. So now in some ways they're pushed to look for other alternatives. And that's why I think you're in such great demand. Is you're in Massachusetts?
Yes.
Okay.
Palmer.
Okay. So there's not many Eastern Taoist Chinese medicine doctors or anything there that, oh, right? Yeah.
I send them
Yeah.
all to me.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Yeah, someone else had mentioned that to me. I was going to interview her another week, and she said, Judy, there's nothing around here. Like we want this, but there's nothing around that's available for Taoist Chinese medicine. And I was like, that's really quite interesting. I think in California, there's a little more. It's a little more liberal, and there's definitely a lot more options out here for sure. Can you share a bit about your patient experience with Dr. Wu?
Sure. Me as his patient?
Yes, and then we're going to talk about you as a student and learning from him.
Okay. So as a patient,
Yes.
so that's how it started. He did the varicose veins, helped me get rid of them, and then I was sold completely.
Just, yeah.
And, yes. So then it went further to me helping my patients, but also helping me. So what was so good with him is I was tired as a kid. I had like a low sugar problem. I was sick. They could never figure out what was wrong with me. I was tired. That's why I went to the healing practice myself, doing massage. Why do people get into the healing field? Because they want to heal themselves. And so I did, and I felt better, and things were good, and learned so much, and having so much fun and healing others. But when I met Ming, he would teach, get rid of monkey mind. What is monkey mind? That overthinker. Oh, I'm an overthinker. So let's talk about that. Qigong, Tai Chi. And he also said, if you want to do this Tui Na, you have to do Qigong. And my thought was, that's boring. That's slow. That's for old people. I don't want to do that. And he said,
Yeah.
You must, if you want to have good chi. If you're going to be a practitioner, you should be healthy and have good chi. You need to build the chi. And I used to, when I would give massages, I'd be tired. If somebody was really sick, they'd feel better, but then I'd be sick up to a week. I remember being out of work for like a week after healing someone, then I'm sick. That doesn't happen anymore. I can have the sickest person, they can feel completely better. And because of the Qigong and Tai Chi and all the things I do, it doesn't bother me at all. That is one of the amazing things. I was almost done with massage when I met him 9 years ago. I was almost going to wash my hands of it because it was just too much after doing it for so many years. Yes. Yeah. And now I'm a powerhouse. I'm like, unbelievable. People you are so strong. You want me to ease up? No.
Oh, wow. No, that's really incredible. I think you hit on a really important point. It's like this golden nugget. He talks about building your chi, your life force, because it makes sense. If you're working on all these people, you're constantly giving the energy to the other person, and you're not refueling yourself, nor are you protecting yourself. It's almost like I feel like it's almost like an energetic field of protection as well. So the fact that he has brought that to your attention of building your own chi before giving it out and working on others, that's really, really interesting, because I see this in a lot of the patient interviews. Everyone says, oh yeah, Dr. Wu makes me do the Qigong, or not make me, but like he emphasizes that a lot.
Oh yeah.
And now I understand why, because it makes sense. It's like, if you don't have that energy level or that field, and you're constantly giving, you're depleting yourself constantly. But it's also, he teaches a lot about the lifestyle. And I love that. Can you talk a bit more about the lifestyle of being in TCM and also as a practitioner?
Yes. So there's so much there. It's so much. So diet, eating is medicine. Food is medicine.
Right.
So food, I knew food wasn't for pleasure, but I don't think I really knew that it was medicine. So by growing your own food, which I try to grow, I'm not successful yet. So I go to the farm stands and I buy the grown food. He grows his own chickens, he says, to have, I love it. To have the eggs
Yeah,
and
that's so
probably the
funny.
meat later. Yes. So you know there's no antibiotics in them. There is no hormones in those chickens. I told him I eat chicken. I pay $16 for 4 legs.
Yeah,
It's organic.
yeah.
It's very good. He said, "How big are those chickens?" I said, "I don't know." He said, 10 pound, maybe, probably. He said, "That is not good." He said, "Chicken cannot walk at 10 pounds. His chickens are 1 to 3 pounds. They're small, a lot of chi in the meat, but it's not, it doesn't have the antibiotics."
Right. And it's
So
probably packed with nutrients too. Yeah.
yes, that's what he said. So the getting your food is very important to get clean, healthy food. He likes the rice, and I hear rice isn't good, but I like rice. My body likes rice, so I might lessen the rice, but
Yeah.
rice is good. And the spices, I can't, Shishan pepper. I went to he has a retreat in Vermont, and he cooked and he put the shishan, the little balls, and he said 5 balls a day heals cold stomach. All Americans should be doing that. So that tastes good, and that's in my food. So all this is medicine. As I'm doing this, I believe it's medicine. The tea we drink that I get from him, I'll be selling it too. It's so good. I drink the tea. There's many, I don't remember the amount of the number, but there's vitamins in there.
Christine, so you were talking more about food as medicine, and Dr. Wu saying that if it's more than 10 pounds, it's probably embedded with hormones and other things. So can you talk more about eating organically and eating fresh foods and making sure it's basically clean?
Yes. So we want to be clean in what we want to be mindful in how we do that. And all the other, it's basic things like drinking clean water,
Right.
I go to a brook and I get my water from there.
That's
Because
amazing.
yeah, in Palmer, there's fluoride and chlorine. And
Mm.
if I can't get it to the brook for some reason, then I'll go to my girlfriend in Munson and I have jugs and I'll get her water where there's only a little bit of chlorine. So I try to be mindful. The plastic isn't good. The plastic bottles aren't really good. Maybe a little Fuji here and there.
Yeah.
I'd like to get a Kagan water machine. They're about $4,000 though,
Yes.
someday.
Yes. I know about those.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I know
Do you
about
have one?
Kagan. I don't. I've got a couple friends that actually sell it.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. You should be drinking their water with the oxygen in it. It's good.
Yeah. Yeah. We have Carlsbad alkaline water here and something called living water here. So the alkalinity is about 9 plus, I believe.
Ooh,
Yeah.
good,
So um
good.
you are a practitioner of Tui Na today,
Yes.
and you have a practice as well for Tui Na.
Mm-hmm.
Can you share your practice, your experience, and what your patients are like, and the results of your practice as a Tui Na practitioner?
Yes. So I was doing pretty good with the massage, very busy working for someone else. And then I learned how I could do it on my own. Ming was teaching me a lot about business. So I started on my own. And the first thing I did was you have to pick a business name, which I had. And then to go on Google, then you would make an account with your business, whether you have a place where you work or not.
Right.
And then the one of the big ways to get business is to get reviews. So if you have somebody and Tui Na is amazing, no matter who you touch, when you have somebody very happy or they come back and say that they're very happy and the headache's gone, the back pain's gone, I don't have to have surgery, whatever you say, could you help me in my business? Could you write me a review? Go to Healing Body Solutions and just put a couple sentences of what you said.
Right.
And now I have 65 of those or
Oh,
so.
wow. That's incredible.
It's so nice. And it's all from their heart.
Mm.
And so if somebody punches in massage, or Tui Na or Qigong or many different words, I'll be top of the list because I have the reviews. That's like the key, is to get the reviews.
Right.
So that's been really good. And also to grow a good business of Tui Na is to have a skill. So you have to take the class, which I took from Ming a long time ago, and now I assist him in teaching the class. I don't teach my own classes yet, but with him, I've become a teacher. And because I still learn when I am teaching, if I
Yeah.
don't know something, I can say, "Hey, what is this?" Or so I
Right.
learned something, how to crack the foot correctly last time. It was pretty exciting.
Uh-huh.
And so you got to have the skill, and so you have to practice. And then so there's a practitioner class he has for people that are interested. On Wednesdays we talk, so we will say what we've done good and any questions we have. So I have it a success here, and I don't, this isn't working, any suggestions, and then all of us put our heads together and say this worked, this didn't work. So to stay in it, and I think you have to love it to do it. I love it, so I do good. If you don't love it, find what you love and do that, because that's important. If life is short, we might
Yeah,
as well do something we love.
totally. And so you don't get tired at all performing tween on all these people?
I still get a little tired. We're working on that.
Okay.
But Ming does not get tired.
I was
I
gonna
don't-
I was gonna ask you that question. Dr. Wu seems pretty lively all the time. He's like a big kid. I call him like the big kid.
yes.
She's always jovial. Why is that he doesn't get tired as much? He's been in this practice for so long, he's mastered it.
Well, he lives the life. I live the life, but he lives the life better. So his wife cooks amazing. So she'll cook on the walk these wonderful vegetables that they grow.
Oh,
So he
wow.
eats very good. He eats very little meat. He said too much meat will make you tired. So he has a system, and I'm still trying to perfect that system. I still am following and learning as a student. I'm also a teacher, but I still have not, I've gotten, my chi is so much better. When I used to get around him, I think my sugar was dropping. And another person in the class, an acupuncturist, said, "You're not used to this chi. The chi is so high when you eat his food and you're doing qigong or tai chi or Tui Na with him, your chi so high." So I don't get that way anymore. Now I can handle the chi. So it's like a ladder I'm trying to get. And his father was a doctor, and he
Right.
wakes up, he does this, he goes to sleep, he does this. I'll When on vacation I had some fudge. I'm not perfect. No, I would like to be more perfect, but I try to live the lifestyle and I feel wonderful. But he's on it, and he says, "I have good Zen." So when he laughs, that laugh, you don't even know what he's laughing. You hear him across the room and you're laughing on the inside. It's that good energy, that good Zen.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
amazing. He really lives his practice. You know, he
Yes,
he's he's true to what he speaks. He's true in his actions, he's true in his words, and he's living what he's preaching. I mean, that's the best example right there.
yes,
That's the ideal model, because some doctors, they say all this, they prescribe all this, but they're not doing any of it?
yes, that's correct. You're right there, Judy.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I mean, I personally would like to learn from Dr. Wu, and I have a personal interest in Tui Na as well. So, um, when people are receiving this treatment of Tui Na, what is there to be expected from the result of it? Does it work right away? Like if you worked on someone's meridian lines, let's say in the back, or specific injuries for athletes, I guess my question is, how soon does that person see the result of the Tween Us session that you did for like an hour? Is it is it like a couple days? Is it going to be a regular therapy where this person should come like X amount of time, or is it different for everybody?
It's different for everyone, but on the mainstream, I would have to say it happens on the table. They feel better. So Tui Na, there's 9 lines that you work on acupressure points, mostly near the spine, but it's all the body. And when you press the spots, it wakes up a blockage and it might hurt, but in minutes. So I'll go down the body, ouch,
Yeah, yeah,
ouch, ouch. I go back down the body. Oh, not so bad, not so bad. Third time down, it's all gone. It's all gone. They feel
yeah.
better. All kinds of injuries. And I tell people, I can't tell what will feel better. So they'll come in with 10 problems, but something, because I'm not allowed to say I can heal you, but I can say, let me try. And I can say something is going to feel better. And they're 99% lightheaded or relaxed, euphoric, I guess would be a better word. They feel like, even I saw him Sunday and I go in, I have pain I don't even know I have. And then when I leave, it's gone. It just takes so much out of you. I don't think there's words to describe. Have you received a Tui
I
Na?
have. I was just going to share that really quickly. Is I've received about 10 sessions of Tui Na, and I kid you not, the last set that I did, he's here in Carlsbad, and he worked on my Tui Na on the line that's on the back. I forget what line number that is, the one right next to the spine. It's like the restorative. He worked on me. I kid you not. I came home and I cleansed for like 20 minutes, like releasing things. I'm
Nice.
not kidding you. And I'm like, this is amazing. So that's why I was curious to know, it's probably like what you're saying, everybody's different, has different chemistry in the body. And mine, I was so receptive. I immediately felt the cleanse of it all. And I thought I lost like 8 pounds the next day.
Amazing. I love it. Great.
I know it works. For me, it works for sure. So I know everyone has different experiences. And then I just felt like, after releasing the toxins, almost like purging, you're purging. You just feel so much lighter the next day. I had much more energy. I mean, I definitely felt like the circulation in my body and the chi was happening. So yeah, I love Tui Na. Um, I'm curious to know, from your experience with Dr. Wu, is there a specific knowledge or wisdom that has really stayed with you and now you're passing it on to your students or other people that you know?
Yes. The whole package. To my children, to
Oh,
my family, my friends, my clients, my students, like the same as him. Anyone that wants to listen, I live and breathe it because it's changed my life. And so anyone who would like to hear it, I would like to give it. So mostly the clients, because they're paying to see me. They
yes.
definitely want it more, and they come back. They want more because they know who I am. And my children, it's the joke is, if something happens to me, if I'm gone, I want you to know what to do. So they all know Tui Na, Moxa, and they'll come to me. I know I'm a good teacher when one of my kids will come to me. They say I'm a little weird, you're a little crazy, you do weird stuff, whatever, you and your TCM, but I have a headache. Could you do Tui Na the
Oh
neck?
my God, how funny.
Yeah.
They'll
Can
criticize
you
it, but
Moxa me?
yeah.
I need some moxa. Would you Gua Sha this? I need this Gua Sha. They tell me exactly what they need before I can think about it. They know. They don't even know they're doing it. They're reading their body. What do I need? Oh, all the Gua Sha. Can you Gua Sha me? So oh yes, I'm not going to say no. They're
Yeah,
asking, go do it. Heals them. They all have the tools. The family stocked up. Some still think I'm crazy. Some say, you're doing your voodoo. Yep, doing my voodoo.
I've heard
Whatever.
that too. It's so funny that they criticize you, but then like when they're in pain, they're like, "Oh, do Gua Sha, do Tui Na." I mean, it's like intuitively, like their soul recognizes this is real and it works. Because why would they make fun of it and criticize it and be like, when they're in pain, they're like desperate for it now. It really quite funny.
Right. It's
So,
it's it's wonderful. Yes.
well, we're coming to a close here, and Christine, do you have any words for Dr. Wu, or words for the audience of what you would like them to know about TCM and about Dr. Wu?
Sure. I would say to try to have an open mind, have no thought, just to go in and give it a shot and see what happens. And
Yes.
that's what I do. I experiment, try something. I still try new things and I'll experiment. Does that work for me? Does it not
Yeah.
work for me? Because some works and some doesn't at some times, and I might change it. So to try, to try Tui Na somewhere. If you're around here to see Ming or I or any of his students, it's life-changing, and there's not side effects. With Western medicine. Some of their things might work, but there's side effects. And there's side effects to having ginger or garlic, it's just, you feel good. And if you don't, the most important question of the day, he always says, is who am I? So that's the root of the whole thing. So ask yourself that question. He said that to me, and I thought, that's a dumb question. I know who I am. I had no idea. None. I have boundaries now. I know who I am. I know what I want. I know what I can have. I know if I'm going to have ginger, I want to have ginger a lot. I start getting hot flashes, back off. It was too much.
Right.
So to experiment with something new, to have an open mind, and to enjoy life, let go and relax. And to Ming, he knows I am so grateful, and I thank him every time I see him. I love him as a teacher, family, friend. I have a good life, and life is short, I've learned, so we need to enjoy it.
Wonderful. Beautiful message, Christine. Thank you so much for taking this time. I really enjoyed talking with you, Christine. I hope to talk with you again next time.
I'd like that very much, Judy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.